He built his company, TCG Player, into a huge business, employing hundreds in downtown Syracuse and hundreds more in other parts of the country before selling it for $295 million back in August of 2022. Since then, Chedy Hampson has been trying to figure out how best to give back to the South Side community he grew up in. I think he's found it. And Chedy joins us now. Chedy, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. What was that journey like? So it sounds so simplistic. I sold my company for X amount of dollars and I can just go do whatever I want. What was the journey to get to a point where you said, this is what I want to do with the South Side Community Foundation?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's been a 20-year journey growing up on the South Side. I knew over the past 10 years I've been fortunate to participate in the Regional Economic Development Council, which is a council that invest a lot of money in our region to support job growth, but I got to see how they support downtown communities. And from a marketplace standpoint, from what I cared about, that is entirely about how do you get different customers, neighbors, residents, commercial, all to interact with each other and grow and build a prosperous marketplace. A neighborhood is a marketplace. As you think about it, you're trying to have all of those different people with different agendas interact with each other positively. And this is a community that it hasn't been functioning properly, if you will. And what would it take to get it to perform great as a marketplace, be a great place to raise a family again?
When we say the Southside Community Foundation, to you, how do you describe it? I guess what's the larger goals? I'm sure there are many, but what are the couple of the larger goals? I
mean, the largest goal is to think about what would it take to, if you're a single parent, to raise your child to become successful on their own? Just, I think that's the dream of any parent. What's the support system that's like to do that? So our focus really is on being a connector. Like what is, it's a community that hasn't had a voice for a long time. So it's going in, meeting with the neighbors, getting feedback from them, channeling what they think they need to support the community, but then connecting that to other organizations, both for-profit, nonprofits, and of course the government, which it's not just the local government, it is talking state and federal level as well.
Which can be somewhat complicated to navigate,
very complicated,
for sure. Are there a couple of focus areas? For instance, is it healthcare? Is it job opportunities? Are there a couple real focus areas, or probably more than a couple, but the biggest ones, would you think?
I think we're very fortunate. There's a lot of help, a lot of great agencies that are out there thinking primarily about jobs and training, especially with the future as we think about Micron. Our thing has kind of been through feedback with the community, is really focusing on two things. Housing, specifically affordable housing, but high quality affordable housing is the key. And connect that to, if you're going to be working a job or a single parent working your second or third job, you need daycare and you need after-school activities to help support you in that quest.
I think you kind of touched on it a little bit. We've spoken a lot about connections, connecting things. Who are the biggest partners you see that can work with the Southside Community Foundation?
Yeah, I mean, at the local level, we've been very fortunate to partner with Home Headquarters. Worked with them for their Block Blitz program a year ago when I left TCG Player. Really excited they're going to be supporting this community, the McKinley-Brighton neighborhood in 2025. Bringing hundreds of volunteers back to that neighborhood. There's been some other great nonprofits that are in that area, the CNY Community Foundation, of course. And then at the government level, I think Ben Walsh and his he's been very helpful with making so many introductions. And then right now we're really thinking about at the state and federal level, what would it take? As people are shining a light on our communities, a lot of positive energy. And so can we make sure that it's not just Micron and new jobs, it's also the South Side and North Side that benefit?
Certainly money alone is not going to fix problems, right? It's a great start. But how do you make sure that your generosity is used properly? Is that where a board of directors comes in? I mean, you were kind of explaining, you're not the CEO. You don't just run this by yourself anymore, right? So how does that all work?
It's, money can be a momentum builder. I think we started off not having to ask for money to begin with, using some of my funds. So it means that we were immediately able to hire some staff and consultants and really dig in deep on the data. We have a community engagement coordinator that's been able to go door to door, gather a lot of great feedback. But the bigger thing is the board. I think because we really are thinking about strategy, not just what's it going to be like in a year or 5 years, but what can it look like 50 years from now. A lot of great people in business, government have joined us. Really proud of the board.
Yeah, Chedy Hampson, just getting started with the Southside Community Foundation. Like to continue the conversation, but we're out of time for now. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.